Hi everyone! It's been quite a long time since I've made a speed paint, but I'm really excited to return and show off with you guys a couple of the things that I have been working on lately. So for the past few days, I've known that we were going to be having a pretty heavy rainstorm coming in, and because of that, I have been thinking of nothing but rain. For those who don't know, I live in Southern California, where rain is not super common, so whenever I know that it's coming in advance, I get really excited about it. Here you can see me drawing my version of Eureka from Eureka's Castle. I typically start working in my sketchbook first. I'm just enjoying the process, and what's really great is when my cat decides that he wants to get in on the action, though sometimes that's not always great. He just really wants to be involved. As you can see, I have quite a few just really simple dirty sketches that I've been working on in my sketchbook, all pertaining to Eureka, all with very rough blocked in shapes for possible designs. This is the one that I have worked on the most, and I think I'm going to be working on moving forward. Again, here you can see some really quick just thumbnails for the most part. I've gotten to the point where I really don't tie down my drawings too much anymore in my sketchbook, which is kind of a shame, but I have been working on my iPad more, and I've been enjoying that process. I've gotten to a point where I feel pretty stuck just working on it in my sketchbook, so from here on out, I'm actually going to use my camera on my iPad, and I'm going to take a photo of my sketchbook page, and then I'm going to open up Procreate, create a new layer, then I'm going to import the photo of the sketch. As you can see here, I am going to continue working on the sketch in Procreate. I find that it's just a little bit easier when I'm struggling with how I want things to look, rather than constantly going back to erase in my sketchbook and possibly damaging the paper. I like to actually take some time to explore some of my options where it's super easy for me to just erase or build on top of a different layer. I used to have a really hard time using my iPad. For some reason, I just really couldn't get into working on it. I was really struggling with feeling like I was drawing on glass. I really appreciate working traditionally. I love feeling the texture of my pen or pencil moving across the surface of my sketchbook, and all of a sudden trying to use an iPad, I was really struggling feeling connected to what I was working on. So recently, I ended up buying an overlay for my iPad screen where it actually has the texture of paper, and all of a sudden, I can't stop using my iPad. It's honestly been a game changer for me. As I continue to work, you can see as I'm going and making decisions really roughly and then deciding that they're not working, and I don't feel the need to shy away from making a pivot. Again, I think this is a little bit easier to accomplish when you're working digitally. You can still do it traditionally, of course, but I guess I'm just really rough with my sketchbooks, and I really don't want to damage the paper any more than I already have. You'll see I have taken a smaller version of my line drawing, and I've just done a quick color study and placed it in the upper right-hand corner. I've also imported some of the images I've done of Eureka in the past, so I can easily use the eyedrop tool to select the colors that I want to use. From here on out, as I start to move into color, I am going to color everything that is Eureka and create a base layer. After that, I'm just going to be using clipping masks on top to color in all of the different areas of her body and costume, keeping those layers separated. You'll notice that I left the poncho as its own layer, just a light blue outline. And the reason I'm doing that is I want it to be semi-transparent, so I'm actually going to be drawing that over the top of the base Eureka drawing. And then I'll just lower the opacity to give the effect of it being transparent. You can still see her raincoat underneath, and I think that's really cool. As I get towards the end of coloring Eureka, I'm going to start playing around with the background more. One of my big goals for this next year is to start working on doing backgrounds more often. It's honestly something that I don't particularly enjoy doing, and I do think that it's holding me back, and so I'm just taking baby steps right now. This is relatively easy. It's mostly blocked in shapes and using blur effects, but I like what I've been able to accomplish, and I'm excited to see what I'm going to be able to do come this time next year. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed creating it. I hope to see you guys again in the next one.